What's up, everybody? Tiffany Outdoors here today. I want to try something new, something I've never tried before, and glass cutting. It's going to require some glass cutting, something that I'm not very good at yet, but hopefully I will get good at it one day. And it's going to involve this. Now, if you guys have been with me, you know this is the frame to a 5-gallon tank that I turned into a rimless Nano tank. I want to turn this into a Japanese rock garden. So, we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can make this come to fruition. So, first thing I need to do is clean this up. So, let's get started. There's the hawk. Before there was a Tiffany Outdoors, there was Tiffany the farmer.
On a U-turn when possible.
No, we're not U-turning.
Hi. Hi, what are you doing? Hi, baby. What?
First thing I need to do with this is get the silicone off of it. There is quite a bit of silicone all in the corners, so I'll be using a series of instruments to try and remove this silicone. I'm going to see which thing is going to do this the best. Okay, so this knife is not doing that well of a job, so I'm going to switch over to a small scraper and a razor blade. I probably should be wearing gloves. Yep, this is going to be the thing. Yeah. Alright, so this is going to be time consuming. I'm going to do this slowly. I don't want to break this because this is a little thin piece of plastic frame from a fish tank. So I just want to make sure I get the silicone off without breaking the frame. So I'm going to do this slowly. I'm going to take my time with this. And I'm not going to bore you guys and make you watch me clean this up, because this right here is going to take a little bit. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then I'll come back to you when I am done. I've got the frame all cleaned up, and now I'm trying to decide whether I want it to sit like this after I did all that work cleaning all that silicone. Do I want it to sit like this, or do I want it to sit like that? And that's my dilemma now. I'm thinking. I'm going to go get a second opinion on this. I'm going to go ask Jo and see what she thinks. And I'll be right back. Alright, so I talked to Jo about it, and her idea was perfect. She said if I have it like this, the frame will give it more stability, because this part right here is deeper here than it is on this side. And she is 100% correct. So, I'm going to have it like this. Now, I just need to measure the glass. And y'all, cutting glass is not my gift. Not at all. So this is going to be a very difficult project. Alright, so you won't get good at something unless you practice and keep trying. So I'm going to go with my motto. It doesn't have to be pretty or perfect, just as long as you try. So I'm going to give this a try, and I'm going to succeed. I am willing myself to succeed on this project, okay? All right, let me go get the glass and start cutting. So miraculously, this pane of glass actually fits in here this way. I just need to cut it right along here. And I got a bunch of this glass when, what's the name of that? Oh, AC Moore. When AC Moore had their liquidation sale, I got a bunch of this glass super cheap, y'all. And this is picture frame glass, so it's not super thick like aquarium glass, but it is thick. So I've got my T-square here, I've got my glass cutter here, and I need to go get some oil. So I'm gonna go get some oil and then just start measuring this stuff up and getting it cut down, or attempting to getting it cut down. So this is how I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna stick that in there like that. Look at that, fits in there perfect. Now I'm gonna take my T-square, come across like so, and then I need to draw a line. A marking pen here, and I'm going to draw a line, and I'm going to draw it slightly, ever so slightly smaller than what I actually need. Make sure that's in there. It's a little tricky getting this all lined up. I think right there is going to be it. There we go. And I hope that fits in there. All right. Take this away for a second. Oh, I'm also going to need some sandpaper. Got sandpaper, and I need some gloves. Let me go grab my gloves. I think I'm ready. This is the part where I always mess up, is getting this T-square down in the spot that I need it. We'll see how this goes. Let's see where the blade lines up. All right, got it lined up as best as I can. I'm gonna dip my cutter in the oil and spread the oil to lubricate my cut a couple times, and have this straight up, and here we go. See, this moved. It moved on me. It's not going to give me a smooth cut. I already know that. Ugh. Alright. And I like doing it this way, doing this technique. Flip it over and just press with your thumb, and you get a nice clean break. This might be okay. Alright, let me get my sandpaper and sand this down. Wherever I may have, here we go. Alright, I'm going to sand this over my trash can. Alright, that feels nice and smooth. It did mess up a little bit right here. There's like a little bump, and that's for that little extra piece that I cut when my T-square slipped. But this looks great. Alright, let's test fit this. Please, 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 please. Can you guys see? Yes. Alright, let this fit. there. Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh, nice. Okay. Woo. Oh, y'all, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Very, very proud of myself right now in this moment. Alright, now to cut. Now I need to figure out how tall I want this to be. So let me figure that out and I'll come back to you. I've decided to make this 1.5 inches tall. This will give me enough. It'll be tall enough to give me enough substrate to put in there and deep enough so that you can rake the sand any kind of way. So 1.5 inches. So I need two links, 1.5 inches. All right, let's see how this turns out. I'm gonna take this and set it to the side. Let's see how wide this is. Hey, check that out. This T-square is 1.5 inches wide. Y'all, I couldn't get any luckier on this build here. So now I just need to go the length of the T-square all the way down this. Mark my measurement. Nice. Do the same thing I did with the other one. Line up the blade as best I can. And I need to try and hold this as steady as possible to keep it from slipping and sliding like it did on my last cut. It is hard. It really is hard to keep this thing lined up. Alright. And lubricating the glass. I'll do that a few times. The better it's lubricated, the better and cleaner your cut's gonna be. Did get a little too aggressive on that end there, but that's okay. Wipe some of this oil off. And I'll just sand that little defect off. Not a big deal. And I'm sliding it like this to wipe the oil off of it. And before I glue this up, I'm going to have to go over it with alcohol anyway. That's a nice cut. I think that height's going to be great. Alright, let me go ahead and cut my second piece that height. And again, this thing slid a little bit. Ugh. But it's not going to be perfect. And that's okay. I'm totally okay with not perfect. Alright, let's see how that measures up with the other one. And then we'll sand them both down. Oh, yes. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Alright, now I want to sand it. going to sand them both over my trash can like I did before. This end right here, this little piece here has a little bit of a defect. I'm going to see if I can sand that down some more. That's about as good as it's going to get. I wonder, am I taking a risk? I'm going to try and use this metal rasp just very lightly and see if I can get that little knot down. Not too bad, not too bad. I'm rubbing my gloves on it to see if I feel any snags or anything that might be sharp to the touch with my bare hand. That feels good. All right. Wipe it off. And then test fit these pieces. Oh gosh, yes. And yes. Y'all, this is coming out so good. I couldn't be more pleased with this. Alright, now to cut this little inside, this little piece here. And that is going to be tricky. Very tricky. So, just so I get the length right. Alright, so here we go with this math stuff. Alright. Oops. And y'all, I've done so many mistakes with mismeasuring wood that I've learned this the hard way. So in order to get the length from here to here, these two pieces of glass are going to be one on each side. So basically all we're trying to do is get the glass that's going to fill up the empty space between here and here. So since these two pieces of glass are already here, we don't need to count that length in there. So I'm going to put both of these on one side like this. That will help me get how wide this is. I know, it's hard to explain. So I need to cut from the inside, so I'm going to mark that. Bring my light over. And you guys will see what I mean after I cut this off. And it should fit in there once I cut it down to the 1.5 inch that I need. Alright, so I need to cut this piece off and put an X there. Okay. Over, press with my thumb. Nice clean break. And I don't need this little thin piece, so I'm just going to set that up there. Now I'm going to turn it this way, the short way, and then measure my two 1.5 pieces this way. Make my mark. Okay. Okay. And then one more piece like that, and it will be done. And then I can start putting this together. Give these a nice good sanding. Alright, now I'm going to flip this towel over and give all of these a nice, good alcohol bath. Alright, I'm going to let these air dry, let that alcohol gas off, and then I'll come back and start the silicone process. Alright y'all, I'm in the process of taping this off, getting it ready for some silicone. I'm not going to bore you with all of this taping stuff. It's a little boring and time consuming. Like I said, I'm not going to bore you guys with all of this. But anyway, I will come back when all of this is ready to be put together. I'm going to go ahead and start with the silicone and process. My mouth, or my voice is muffled because I am wearing a mask. Because this silicone is very strong smelling. First I'm going to put a few dabs on here. And I'll probably just take my finger and spread this out some. Alright, yeah, let me go all the way around. And then I'm going to just take my finger and smear it. There we go, like this. Yep. It doesn't have to be all the way around. As long as I get it on most of this, I will be happy. And I'll take this, set it down in the frame. I can put some a couple dabs on the outside there. Throw a little dab there, and I got a dab there. I'll do the same thing. Just give it a little smear. Okay. Same thing on this. And these little dabs here are just to kind of hold it steady in the corner. Just a little dab, okay? Kind of like a little bit of just to hold it in place. Just a little bit. That'll hold it against the frame nice and tight. Uh-oh. There we go. And the last piece. Gently now. Now I've got some pieces here that I'm going to put in the corners to keep it as close to a nice, clean 90 as possible. I'll tape all four corners. And I'm going to do all the seams on the inside. Okay. And now, this is where it gets messy. I'm going to take my finger. Oh, shoot. Sorry, y'all. I keep kicking the camera. I'm just going to take my finger. Go through all the seams. The excess. I'm just going to wipe it on this paper towel. So, I'm going to wait about 5 or 10 minutes. Let this set up just a tiny bit, and then I'm going to peel off all this inside tape, and I'm going to leave the outside tape on and let it cure overnight. I'm not that concerned about any silicone getting here. You're not going to see that part anyway, so it's not a big deal. The silicone is a little bit messy on this bottom piece. Don't worry about it, guys. Nobody's going to see that part. Okay, I'm just going to let this sit overnight, let it dry. We're going to come back tomorrow and do our garden.